visionary. I believe I've added as much to culture as Picasso. Notice the subtle usage of the low notes in this chord. Where do you find your inspiration? I've traveled the earth many a time, searching for a face that stands out amongst the crowd. A small American town gives refuge to a lone ukulele player, a man who wanders from house to house, spreading his musical language. People say it's unlike anything they've ever heard. This language so striking, so controversial, that he has had multiple restraining orders filed against him. I don't read sheet music. I stare into a reflective surface in order to increase my enhanced perception of my own mind. Any man who can attract this kind of attention, who can spark this kind of conversation, is of great interest to me. Is exactly the kind of man I've been looking for. A man the locals know only as the Ukulele Man. Many years ago, I was a student at Harvard Law School. It was the day before the bar exam. I knew I would pass because I'm a genius. I wasn't satisfied with what I thought my life was going to be. I didn't want to be a lawyer. So, I booked a trip to Portugal. I paid for it with my food stamps. I needed to find myself, reinvent myself. New life, new career, new lifestyle. So we got to the airport, food stores, shops, what have you. So I saw this music store and I said, might as well check this out. I got 3 hours. So I walked in and I saw this thing. This guitar-like instrument. So I went up to the clerk and I said, what is this? It's beautiful. He said, my son, that's a ukulele. I felt something I had never felt before. I couldn't put this thing down. I realized I was in love. This is my new hit single. I like to call this song Endless Variations on the Infinite Depths, in H minor. It's very simple. Here's how it goes. First, you play a C chord. Then, you play a G chord. Then, you use my new patented H chord. Then, you bring it all home with a nice old F chord. Now, the really interesting thing about the H chord is that it only works on the ukulele. If I try it on piano, it sounds terrible. Observe. And the way harmonics work is that in a ukulele, between each string, there's 1.5 steps. Here there's 1.735, and that just doesn't sound good. That's not a whole number. Your ears are too stupid to hear that. And so that's why it might sound good to me on the piano, because obviously I'm a music major. But to the layman, you gotta stick with the ukulele. Most ukuleles use their fingers to strum the ukulele. Me? I've transcended the pick. I now use a credit card in order to represent capitalism destroying art. Donate to my Patreon. How did you even do this? My credit card was maxed out, but I needed this thing. I would die without it. So, it was the damnedest thing. I just grabbed it. I walked away from the counter, turned left, and ran. Hiding in the bathroom, I started strumming this thing. And it was beautiful. It was like holding an angel in my arms. I cannot explain to you how it felt that first time. I was so caught up in that bathroom, strumming and playing and experimenting with this thing, that I checked my watch and it had been 4 hours. I missed my flight. So that was it. No friends, no trip to Portugal, no future. All it was just me and my ukulele. That was a dip in my life. I'm still in that dip. It took me a while, but eventually I realized
I could use the negative emotions from that life experience to enhance my art to previously unimaginable levels.
Get over the world with my angry soul.
Now I know exactly how Mozart must have felt when he composed his symphonies, how Bach felt when he first found the piano. Man, I'm all of those.
In a world where music can seem so uninspired, Ukulele Man is a face that breaks the conventions. An example of a truly inspired artist. One who could take his troubles and turn them into gold. One that inspires us all to travel the same path. To one day, find the Ukulele Man within all of us.
So now I wander the fretways of life, searching for the right chord.
The chords I'm playing right now suck.
Hey, you should subscribe.
Maybe my whole life is one big joke.